Connecticut's governor is Ned Lamont. He has developed a reputation for being a student of the situation here, watching what was happening in other places, making smart decisions for his state. Governor, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you, Chris, and it's nice to see you.
Now,
I'll tell you what I saw when I heard that. I mean, this is a president who wants to throw verbal hand grenades. And 2 weeks ago, he told your brother and myself, I want a mandatory quarantine of New York metropolitan area. And we called them up and talked them down. And we got something a lot more reasonable. Now, 2 weeks later, he wants a mandatory opening up of everything. I just think he likes us to run down these rabbit holes. You're right. The governors are going to make the determination what's best for their state. We care deeply about the health and safety of our citizens, and we're going to get our economy going on a prudent, thoughtful way.
You said verbal hand grenades. The problem is he throws them, they blow up in your face. Because now he says, well, testing, well, that's on the states. My decision is just to reopen the economy. We'll deal with what he assumes his power is in a moment. But let's just be painfully honest. I know in New York, they can't handle that kind of responsibility, not with that kind of scale. Can you, in Connecticut, guarantee the people who voted for you and those who didn't, frankly, you're in charge of all of them, that if they reopen the job markets and all of the attendant services in Connecticut, that you can mark any new cases and make sure you can contact trace and get people treated?
Absolutely not. But we are working our heart out right now to get the reagents in place, make sure we do the molecular testing, ramp up our antibody testing. Obviously, if the feds would take the lead on that, it would be a lot more effective. Short of that, look, Andrew Cuomo, myself, Phil Murphy, and 6 other governors got together and said, we'll take the lead in the absence of the federal government. We're going to be the ones setting up the rules and standards in terms of how we do our testing, because Connecticut will never be safe unless New York is safe, and vice versa.
You guys are doing it on the East Coast. We're seeing it happening also on the West Coast. The president says, you're wasting your time, Governor. You don't have the power. The power is mine to reopen the economy, including everything that involves in your state and your people. Do you agree?
Look, he's got the bully pulpit, but we're the ones that have to enforce it. Everybody knows that it's the governors where the rubber meets the road. I think every governor knows what it takes to get it done. Just like he said, when I'm in a mandatory quarantine, New York City, we had to say, Mr. President, there are 120 roads, not to mention ferries and railroads, in and out. There's no way to do that, and he didn't do it.
Now, if he says to you, listen, I'm doing it, you're right. You'll figure it out, Ned Lamont, governor of Connecticut. But I'm telling you right now, you're going to reopen. How can you follow that order? How can you comply when you know you can't keep your people safe?
I could not keep my people safe if we tried to do that overnight, telling me that anybody can go in and out of nursing homes when our nursing homes are on fire. Look, we've still got a rising infection rate in this state. We still have rising hospitalizations. Not as fast as 2 weeks ago, thank God, but they're still going up fast. You know, the boat is very tippy right now, and this is the time for steady leadership. So let's not throw any more of these verbal hand grenades.
But you know why he throws them, Governor. And again, I'm very careful, not just with my brother, but with all the governors, all the leaders. I don't want to put you sideways with the president. I know that he can punish. I understand. And I know you've got to think about your people and getting the most resources. But I'm telling you, if nobody stands up and says, I know it sounds good. I know it's what a lot of us want to hear. Hell, I want to hear it, Governor. I'm sick of being in my basement. I want to get out. I want to be better. I want to go out and do the things I want to do. But you know what? I'm not ready. I still have low-grade fever. I am a metaphor for this country. And they think it sounds good. And they're going to think he's saying the right thing and you're saying the wrong thing, unless governors like you stand up and say, he's not giving it to you straight. We're not ready to reopen. Can you say that?
I can say that. That's what we had 9 governors today say. They said, we're going to open up. We're going to do it on a thoughtful basis. I'm not going to send hundreds of typhoid Marys out in the community and have another whole round of reinfection. Talk about taking the confidence out of this economy, talking about taking people down. If we let that happen, shame on us. Not one governor will let that happen, not to their state, not to their broader community.
And Governor, just quickly, and again, because you have been, I believe, fairly called out in a good way, whatever the good version of being called out is, celebrated for being a student of the situations around you. Okay. You've watched, you've acted with deliberate speed. Good for you. Is there any question in your mind that this federal government didn't have more that it could have done sooner to help those who got hit early?
Look, within a month, we're going to have all the ventilators, most of the PPE, and other probably even testing that we needed. But imagine if we had started this 3 months ago, what a difference that would have made. That said, we'll have plenty of time in elections and history books to realize the mistakes that were made in the past. I think every governor is saying, what do we do now to get our state on track, keep it safe, and slowly, methodically open up the economy again?
I agree with the analysis 100%, Governor. It's not for me about looking back. It's about understanding how you move forward. And this president is denying that he did anything wrong because he wants to give America a false sense of confidence that he knew what to do then and he knows what to do now. And if we don't do better now than we did in the first phase, we'll repeat the same situation. And I just don't want to see all that human pain. Governor Ned Lamont, thank you for your candor. I know it can come at a price, but I think right now we're at such a pivotal moment. We need our leaders with one voice to say, we've got to do this right or it shouldn't be done at all. So, Governor, thank you for keeping us apprised of the situation in Connecticut. Thank you for making yourself available, and we are available to you.
You're looking good, Chris, and believe me, the governor's going to be speaking with one voice on this. Nice to see you.